One man has brought attention to of what is going on, and now you hear all the other candidates talking about it, and we're glad that they do. So, a lot of us who are born-again Christians and some who've government have come to this conclusion that the best way we can protect religious freedom is to get back to the Constitution and to protect everybody's freedoms. Here's the man who is the champion of that principle. Long ago, many hundreds of years ago, another man named Paul in 2 Corinthians 3:17 wrote these words, "Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty." Here is the champion of the Constitution and the champion of I'm from Texas, my name is not Rick. Well, thank you very much for coming out, and it really is a great encouragement. There are a few young people here today. This is not the time for me to give a long speech. I just gave a little speech a few minutes ago. It is a real delight and a great deal of encouragement. A lot of people give me credit for encouraging others, but if I didn't hear from you and see you and get the encouragement, there would be no campaign. The campaign is what you feed into and why we have one, and I want to thank you for the participation and the enthusiasm that you have. Been going quite well. Sometimes the polls are not exactly reflective of how well we're doing. And did you notice that every once in a while they ignore covering what we do at the what I asked the other day, I said, we go to Chris Club, I said, how many people here know who won Florida? Well, everybody knew who won Florida. I said, how many of you knew who won California? One person. But the only one that really counts is coming up. And who knows, it might even be in December the way they're so it won't be long. You know, I thought it was going to be an eternity when we made this decision, along with the encouragement of many of you, early in the year. But the months are flying by, and here we are in October, so they are going to go very, very quickly. So everything we do is vital. Are obviously working in the earlier states in Iowa, New Hampshire, but there's a lot of other states that are coming up now, and the big job is to keep the organization going, keep the enthusiasm, keeping the volunteers. I understand there are a few people that came down from New York today. I wasn't surprised the other day when I was in New York. You know, we have this idea that New York there's nobody left, that the Brennan doesn't exist in New York. What was it, like 1,800 people showed up in New York City? The spirit of liberty is alive, and it's growing, and the charge is being led by a whole new generation. This is where the optimism from me comes from, and that is that I do know that so many individuals and young people, and it's not even those who are 18 to 20 or 30 or 35. Sometimes they're teenagers before, like 15 and 16. I just think it's fantastic. main thing I get a charge out of is when the 15-year-old comes in and they've converted their parents. So there's every reason for us to be optimistic. We do not know what the future holds, but I do know there's every reason to continue this effort because there's good reason to believe that this momentum is really building. The fundraising that you've contributed to so often has been fantastic.
Thank you, Lord! Woo!
We know that there's a couple of we know that the other candidates there's a couple others that have raised a lot more, but they do it with raising a lot more from much fewer. We have over 100 copies.